Well, that didn't work out so well, did it? Forgot to turn my camera switcher on. Let's try this again. Screwing it up right from the get-go, kids. What's up, everybody? Rough start there, but we're rocking. We've got an active stream, we've got people happening. Susan is here, Glenn is here, Tom is here, Doc is here, Man Ray's here. Is it Man Ray or Man Rat? I saw Man Ray on the Discord and Man Rat here. And if anyone else is here, thank you for coming in. That if I don't see you on the chat, but you're still here, that's also good. So hello. Sounds great, thank you. I'm glad it sounds good. Moist, also good. All right, hello everyone. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for all of the messages already. I'm totally digging this. I love the fact that it's getting harder and harder to keep up with my chat. I don't know how many people are here today because my viewer counter is not working. It seems to work about 30% of the time, and I've tried to look that up. I have no idea what the story is with that, but that's the thing apparently that's going on. So let's see if there's any other questions in here. The April Flash, okay, yeah. Time flies and having fun, yes. Bone jar, I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm gonna call myself caught up on the chat. If there are any important questions, feel free to re-ask them. The SpongeBob character, but you guys can call me Alex or Alexis. Okay, you got it. I've always liked the name Alexis. We'll go with that. Tab is very yeah, you know, let me. I'm just gonna switch to a slightly different screen here. So, like when you saw this last night, you saw me composing, and you know you see all the notes, and those are extremely useful, very useful in composition. But when it comes to actual guitar work, tablature is a fantastic tool. There are a lot of people out there who speak very down about the use of tablature, and I cannot get behind that basic concept that somehow tablature is bad. It's a great tool, yes. There are things that are very good about understanding standard sheet music, but I once had a conversation with a guy, just some random I think it was in Starbucks, and I happened to be carrying my guitar, so you know people often ask me, "Oh, you're a guitar player," and we got on the subject of the importance of being able to read sheet music, to be able to read music. And I said, "Here's the thing: right now, you and I are communicating effectively, but we are not reading. You do not have to be able to read to be able to use a language, and music is just a language. So." There are certain advantages to being able to read in your whatever language you're using, including music, but not a requirement. So tablature, good. All right. Was he the king of the potato? I'm pretty sure this guy was not the king of anything. That's my guess in this particular case. I like to speak highly of people, but I've interacted with a few dummies. Put it that way. I couldn't even tell you this guy's name. This was probably 6 or 7 years ago. So, this next song, I doubt Marie is watching tonight. This song is dedicated to my friend Marie Ventris, and she is awesome. Ventris, Ventris. Look her up on YouTube. She's an author. She has some very fun books. I really enjoy reading her work, and she's a super cool gal. She's got some very good videos on YouTube about authorship and the whole, publishing and all that surrounds authoring. This song is dedicated to her. I love the title of this song. This song is called 18 Iron Chains to Bind the Wicked King. It's a very fun song to play. It's got some very cool guitar stuff in it. And also, it's a piece that, on certain sections, I wrote it in a 7/4 time signature, which will make Doc, the drummer in him, very, very happy, because he loves that kind of stuff. It's got a really great feel to it, and I really like the motif that I set up for the solos. So let's get into this. Let's get kind of heavy. I'm gonna turn my volume up. This will not affect what you guys have going to your systems, but I'm gonna get a little bit louder here. Excellent, man. Or Alexis, pardon me. That's good. Those are very good things to get in your arsenal. And someday you'll be playing like me, because that's what we do here. All right, 18 iron chains to bind the wicked king. like that song. That's fun. That is a good one to play right there. I just had a new follower, Paul Meow. Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you are enjoying the show. I hope you are enjoying the community. We sometimes I can speak English. This may not be one of those nights. We typically have a pretty fun time here in the Mad Poet streams. And the crowd goes wild. Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Susan. Thank you all. And oh, Sean's here. Excellent. I am so unable to follow. I'm so glad. It just makes me so happy that I'm unable to keep up with the chat. I see you guys are talking about picks, strings, cool. Oh, that's Pamela Gwizdak. Oh, well, welcome. Thanks so much for following. I'm glad you're here. Awesome sauce. All right. I got nothing. I'm gonna take a drink of water. It's part of what I do. Stay hydrated, people. Actually, I'm a little worn out today. We had 3 small apple trees out in the backyard that we gave away, so I was out there digging up apple trees for like 2 hours today. That was exciting. Cool. Okay, you got an amp. Good. Glad to see that. Strat with a humbucker. Good. Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen his guitar, he posted pictures on the Discord. It's a nice looking Squire. I really like the tobacco burst paint job on it. Very cool looking axe. I think it's gonna serve very well. So, yes. Okay. Let's move forward with some music. I'm enjoying the playing tonight. I'm kind of feeling it. I'm going to turn up a little more, actually, get into this, make it happen. So, I seem to recall really enjoying this next song. I don't recall why I think that, which always makes for an interesting thing. I did not practice this album for tonight, so I am basically just going off of memory and whatever's on my screen. So, oh, Art's on. Hey, thanks, Art. I'm glad you like it. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Sean, I've been talking with Alexis about the interfaces, and man, so good. But Alexis right now doesn't actually have a computer, so working off of different ideas. You know, that's, as you know, Sean, you've been playing guitar for a few years. It's a slow build. Get a little here, little there, one step at a time, and you get everything you end up wanting. Again, I don't know why I enjoyed this song, but I know that I do. So let's see what happens. This is called Beyond the Other Side of Silence. 135 beats a minute, B minor. Let's do it. Yeah, it's a fun song. I like that. I'm knocking my picks all over the place here. Ranch with pizza. Oh, I was mentioning on the stream last night that Sarah has some food sensitivities, and so we can't do, like she can't do pepperoni or tomato sauce. It's really rough. But we make a chicken bacon ranch pizza. Oh, so good. So good. Because she makes a homemade ranch sauce for it. It's brilliant. And yeah, good stuff. Ranch and pizza. Dip your pizza. Use it as a sauce. Do it. Absolutely. Yeah, I saw in here, like, during that song, we already passed 100 messages in chat way back. I don't even know where now. So this is like, you guys are getting after it. Absolutely getting after it. Oh, I just love mushrooms, Glenn. Yes. Let's talk about how much Randy loves mushrooms, because they're so good when you don't eat them and they aren't around me. Yes. Kids these days. You kids these days and your rock and roll music, I'll tell you. Man, what has happened to the world? It's all that social media and comic books and those jukeboxes with your rock and roll music. What you don't pay enough attention to is what the octopus said, which, as we all know, is fun night. Oh, delicious mushrooms, Alex, yes. Renee needs to get in here and back me up. She knows how it's done correctly. Disgusting. All right, so this next song, we don't actually have a G sharp minor portion of the show tonight because I didn't write a G sharp minor song on my 21st album, An Innocent Assassin, because she's probably working. Probably working. Oh, she's here. Yes. Back me up on the mushrooms. They're terrible. They're evil. They're wrong. You know what's going on because I raised you right. But this is as close as we're going to get. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the C sharp minor portion of the show. Only one note away from G sharp minor. That was actually E minor. But we're going to move into C sharp. C sharp minor is an awesome key on a guitar. I really like both C sharp minor and G sharp minor. A couple of my favorite keys to play in. Say it like it is, Renee. Well, it's funny. I did a show. I know Susan was on this show, and my buddy Ray was on. I think it was the weekend that I played Asymmetric Writings 1 all the way through. I've only performed that song live twice. There are 3 Asymmetric Writings songs. For anyone who doesn't know, every 17th album I do is an Asymmetric Writings album. Asymmetric Writings, each album is only one song, and that song is exactly 52 minutes, 25 seconds long. And like in my recording program, I bring it down to within a thousandth of a second. It is 52 minutes, 25 seconds. So when I get to album 68, which is only a few albums away, I have already started writing Asymmetric Writings 4. I already know who I'm dedicating it to. So far, I've dedicated Asymmetric Writings to my friend Ray, my friend Stephanie, and my wonderful daughter Renee, who is correctly telling us how mushrooms are. So when I did that show, we were talking about the whole G sharp minor thing, and I may still do this. I was thinking it'd be really cool to write an album with 11 songs. Call the album G sharp minor, and start the first song in A minor. The next one would be B flat minor, then B minor, C sharp minor, all the way through. And the great thing is, the 11th song would be in G minor, and with no 12th song, we would never have a song in G sharp minor on the album. And that would be awesome. I had 1 vote for, 1 vote against, and as I pointed out to them, I would totally take that into consideration, except that no one else gets a vote on how I write my music. This is one of the nice advantages of being a solo artist. All right, play something in Fungus minor. Well, the first song was in F minor. That's probably as close as we're going to get on that. So we'll call that first song Fungus Minor. And I don't even know the name of that first song. What's that? Do I have access to some titles here? Oh, the first song has a great title, Bloodstained and Screaming. Oh, yeah, I do. We talked about this last night too. I recognize the dichotomy of the fact that I have an all ages friendly show, but you would never guess that from reading my song titles. There are no cuss words in my song titles, but Bloodstained and Screaming, 18 Iron Chains to Bind the Wicked King, and of course this, Imminent Decay, 90 beats a minute. We're slowing down a little bit. C sharp minor. And I have the wrong screen active. There's a big surprise. Randy did something wrong. Never seen that before. Looks like we had a very significant internet connection problem there. I'm not sure if anyone is still with me. I actually need to log back into the system here to get my chat back, and I hope that I'm remembering this correctly. It's been a while since I've had to log in with that. Good, okay. So hopefully some people are still here. I am working on the router scenario with the dropouts, and hopefully I got a tip last night that may help. I haven't had a chance to try to implement yet, but I'll be working on it again tonight. So tune your spoons to E sharp. Yeah, I gotta say, Doc, I do like my titles quite a bit. They're fun. I have fun titles. Okay, so now here I gotta figure out. Okay, just trying to remember what's going on with this particular song. Hopefully some people will be back on. I don't know if I have any viewers left, but I'm just gonna keep rolling and see what happens. Oh, internet. We like you. We hate you. We take the brunt of our accusations in so many ways, and you're just gonna have to learn to deal with it. So hopefully people will come back on. I don't see anyone chatting right now, but I'm just gonna move forward and we'll see what happens. This is Times of Turmoil. Okay, well, I would like to thank Mike for the tip. Much appreciated. I'm not seeing any activity in the chat, which is not like my people. So I'm just gonna check another source here. Okay, so there's something going on my end. So I'm gonna have to, you guys are active in chat, and I'm just unable to see it. So I'm gonna have another chat viewing option, which I should be able to do with this, maybe. Not a perfect solution, but I'm gonna have a little tougher time seeing what you guys are talking about. So no idea what's going on over here at this point. I hope you guys are having a good time. And again, thank you, Mike, for the tip. Greatly appreciated. Got to rearrange a little other stuff here. Okay, I think I can work with that. Okay. Yes, okay. We're on. We're on like Alderaan. Let's do this like Buddhists. Okay, I'm getting some F sharp minor here now. Doc's getting a refill. I'm just kind of checking to see if there's any questions that I missed here. Well, that guitar, oh, such a cool guitar. I was talking to one of my students about Trigger once. He's like, well, what's going to happen with that guitar after Willie Nelson dies? And I said, probably go to his kids or, give it to a museum or something. He's like, well, does he have any kids? And yeah, we looked it up. He's got 8 of them or something. I think most of his kids are actually older than I am. The dude's like 600 years old or something. And Willie Nelson's just, my parents, I've never seen Willie live. My parents have seen him multiple times. They used to go out to his shows on a fairly regular basis. These are just really great shows. So, good stuff. Myself a little more room to view what you guys got going on in chat. It would be really cool to bury him with Trigger, but at the same time, that guitar is just such a cool piece of, I don't even want to say country history or rock history, but just music history, guitar history. That one should not be discarded when Willie passes. So, all right, so I'm just looking at what we got going on here. Bumping back up the speed a little bit. 130 beats a minute. Getting into some F sharp minor. I haven't played much F sharp minor of late. So, yeah, Keith Richards died. He just doesn't know it. I think that there could be something to that statement, Doc. But again, when you talk about really iconic guitar riffs, he's responsible for a few of them. He's written some killer riffs. Very good stuff. Okay, I have no idea what's going on in this song. I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to check, because I changed, okay, I'm good there. Good, this, okay, that's all making sense. Where are we at? Envelopes, okay. Just making sure that I'm not going to get some weird cutout on my guitar during any of these songs. I'm just fiddling around now. That last dropout really kind of threw me off because that one went down so hard. So let's get back on track. Let's continue on. Song number 6, F sharp minor, 130 beats a minute. This is a Path of Shadows, and I have no idea what's about to happen here. Alrighty then. Starting to get back on track, kids. Starting to get back on track. Oh my, what do we got going on here? Playing blues. You know, learning the basics of blues, even if you're not going to be a blues player, Alex, is a great idea. A lot of the concepts of that are going to come into play. And one thing I really like to encourage people to, when you're learning music, don't just learn your chosen genre. You know, a lot of times I'll get a student comes to me and they're like, hey, I'm trying to write this song and I'm just stuck, you know, nothing's happening here. And, you know, most of my students are hard rock, heavy metal students. I do have some classical students. And, you know, occasionally I get some jazz people and some more country-oriented or pop-oriented types. And I'll say, you know, okay, so you're a rock player. Great, why don't you go learn 3 or 4 reggae tunes? I'm like, I don't like reggae. So what? It's going to break you out of your slump. And you're going to learn new things about how to manipulate the guitar and how to view the roadmap of the fretboard. And it's going to be beneficial to you as a player and as a musician. And, you know, learn some country songs and learn some pop tunes, you know, do this. And sometimes, you know, maybe you just want to take a dump. So thanks for the tip, Ivana. So yeah, definitely. You know, and I'm also going to tell you this, and this is something you absolutely can play rock without your amps at full volume. That is, I've used all kinds of amps throughout my years as a guitar player. Tube amps, solid state amps, digital amps. My stack back in the corner that remains largely unused these days is a full tube setup, and I'll play that thing just dead quiet. Hey, Wangle Tangle time! Thanks for coming in, bud. Good to see you. All right, so anyway, yes, learn some blues, no matter what. That's definitely, and this is something else, when it comes to rock music, something that a lot of people miss when we talk about the origins of rock music. A lot of people will talk about the importance of the blues, and that's absolutely true. A lot of people will also talk about the importance of the classical influence, which is, again, true. But here's the part that I think a lot of people miss, is the impact of gospel music. And when you go back and you listen to, a great example is Aretha Franklin. That is just a woman in church on a Sunday morning just going for it, singing about the Lord, and it's beautiful. I love Aretha's music. You get it, slightly different genres, but you look at Billie Holiday, you look at Ella Fitzgerald. Again, fantastic voices. This is very largely church-oriented music, and something a lot of people don't know. Fortunately, she's getting more acknowledgement, but Sister Rosetta Tharpe is really the first person who ever played rock music. Unfortunately for Sister Rosetta Tharpe, she's a woman, she's homosexual, and she was black. So this isn't the person that we like to put into history books. And that's completely wrong. It really sucks. But if you go and look up Sister Rosetta Tharpe, you're hearing the origins of rock and roll right there. And a lot of people will point to Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and some people even go as late as Elvis, but that's silly. But you got to go back to Sister Rosetta. That's where rock and roll started, and it's wonderful music. She's so awesome. Definitely worth checking out. And what you're going to hear there is you're going to hear that blues and gospel coming together. She uses she played, I believe, a Gibson SG. She had the distortion going. That's the combination that really made it happen. So yeah, check out Sister Rosetta and give some thought to that. I had a student not long ago working on some guitar soloing stuff, and I said, take some of your favorite songs, and particularly go back and listen to Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Chuck Berry, Aretha Franklin, and learn their vocal lines on the guitar. You're going to get a lot out of that to become a guitar solo player, because when you hear these people sing, man, it's great. And you know, really, if you look at a band like Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson, air raid siren vocalist, fantastic. I came of age as an Iron Maiden fan, and that's never going to change. But really, there isn't a huge jump from someone like Aretha to Chuck Berry to Elvis to someone like Bruce. And if you listen for the, you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I hear that gospel influence in Bruce's voice. It's present, it's there, it's a big deal. And we really, it's so, yeah, learn these other things when working on your, whatever kind of music you are. Who's on thrid? Who's on first? Abbott and Costello. Oh, I love Abbott and Costello. Abbott and Costello were hilarious. I still think my one of my favorite, I don't know if I want to say my absolute favorite, but definitely one of my favorite comedians is Lucille Ball. Lucy was fantastic. And I really like Victor Borgia, who did musical comedy. Tim Minchin has kind of continued his legacy in a way. Tim Minchin is fantastic. So many great comedians out there. I love good comedy, good intelligent comedy. Exactly the opposite of what I'm doing here. I'm doing really dumb music. So, not quite intelligent comedy. So let's do some more dumb music. 7th song of the album. For those who may be just coming in tonight, we are playing my 21st album. This is called An Innocent Assassin. This is a very fun album. It's got some pretty cool motifs and stuff in it. And I'm finding that most of this, I don't even remember what I did or what it should sound like. But I've got a note about this particular song, so it gives me an idea of where to go. It looks like we're jumping into A minor. We're slowing down a bit. This is called The War of the Black Tower. Yeah, Doc, sorry about the resolution. I think it's probably internet things on my side. Apologies. Oh, I am doing something weird. Let me see if I can unweirdify this. There we go. Let me see if I can get back to the correct window and actually have things work the way they're supposed to. Turn the lights. Did I have the lights off? I'm not sure if that's something about me or something else in the chat. Let's see. What's 6 foot long cable or 10 foot? You know, it's really just going to depend on where you're sitting in your room relative to your amp as far as the cables. You will end up having so many freaking cables as a musician. You're going to have different cables. Oh, and here, man, I've got cables. I've got DMX cables for the lights. I've got this little cable for my wireless. I've got wire cables into my, XLR cables for my microphones, and HDMI cables for my cameras, and of course all the computer cables. You end up with just so many cables. It's going to be absurd. Soccer, baseball. Who's on first? Yeah, it looks like that one might have actually been on you. Someone else said they saw it all right. But Sam and Janet Evening, thank you for the tip. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be one of Doc's jokes or if that's actually someone else in chat. If that is, I'm totally not catching the joke on it. If that is actually Sam and Janet Evening, then thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. So sometimes docs do get a little esoteric, and I'm not sure. So sometimes it's hard for me to tell. But nonetheless, everyone who has ever tipped, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Everyone who follows and just comes in and watches, whatever it is, all of this is very important to me. So I got to figure out where I'm at in the album. Oh, yes. Oh, good. This is a cool song. How do I play this? Oh, yeah. So this is, I'm going to encourage people on this particular track, go to my YouTube channel and look up this album. I think this is probably the only song I've done. There might be one or two others. This is called The Undertaker's Daughter. We're getting into C minor. It's a slower piece, and when I released the album, I did two different versions of this song, one electric and one acoustic. And they both have a really good feel to them. In some ways, I like the kind of lower paced acoustic version a little better. I'm playing the normal version tonight. I don't think I've ever played the alternate clean tone version, but go check it out. I like the contrast of both kinds, and I've always kind of been like, gosh, I really don't know which of these tracks I like better. I have had some people say they like this version better. I've had some people say they like the acoustic version better, the alternate version better. So yeah, go check that out. Some Enchanted Evening. I just thought of a good reason to use that crappy product spam. You can increase your guitar strings. Oh, wow. Okay, that's really quite cool, I gotta say. I would not have gotten that. Someday you'll decide to return. You go back to work whenever you want to, Doc. You don't let them give you a hard time about it. Cool. Yeah, feel free to put stuff up on the Discord. There's actually a section on the Discord for Ask the Mad Poet. I don't think anyone's posted there yet. But that's just, if you have questions for me about guitar equipment, guitar whatever, music stuff, feel free to do that. I try to check the Discord every day. I'm not always great about it, but I definitely do get to it. So yeah, feel free to put that up there. Okay. Some enchanted evening. That I gotta say that's clever. That's clever. I'm digging that. So okay, yeah, and I'm just ever since that shutdown, my system is a little off kilter here, so a little different than what I'm accustomed to. But let's do this. We're gonna play the main version of the Undertaker's Daughter. That's a fun song. The slow stuff is good. I like the slow stuff, but I like the fast stuff too. I just like music. I just love playing guitar. I like the performance. I like the guitar. I like the music. It's just so great. And I really like the fact that I now do this in such a way that I don't have to carry all my amps to a venue. I can do it right here where I do everything else. Cool. Okay, check on the Discord. Yeah, Doc's system and the lights in Doc's set. And Doc, again, I have to reiterate, start streaming. Dude, your streams would be freaking. Even if it was just you sitting there banging away at the guitar, the drums, it would be fantastic. Start streaming, dude. People will watch that. Yeah, you should be proud of it. Absolutely. Cool. I'm glad you like. Yeah, that one. I'm not surprised that one appeals to Tom. That seems like the kind of song that would be right up his alley. Very good. What's a guitar? Nobody really knows. Some slide guitar. Yeah. Wait. You know what? Let me see what I got going on here. How am I going to set this up? I'll tell you what. I am going to. I got 2 more songs on this album, and then I'm going to do some slide guitar to finish off the evening. How does that sound, Tom? Do some. What do we call it? Deliverance with an acid hit. We'll get into that. Absolutely. So that will be coming up in 10, 12 minutes or so. I'm not sure how long these last couple songs are, but we'll do that. So we got. Oh yeah, okay. This will be good. This will be good. I'm definitely down for some slide guitar. I haven't done that in a while. Where's my slide at? I gotta have. Okay, let me get that out because that's an important part of slide guitar is having a guitar slide. Yeah, I think that someone just, and particularly if it's someone who's not just playing along to other songs, I think like just Doc just going in and just going, because he's a. There was okay. I got to brag about Doc. I years ago, probably 24, 23 years ago, I asked Doc, "What's the difference between a drummer and a percussionist?" And Doc said, "A drummer plays the drums. A percussionist can hit anything and make it sound good." And I was just, I love that definition. It is so cool. So, another time, we're out at, I talked about this company last night. We worked for, I want them to be able to maintain their anonymity. So this is a company in Western Washington, one of the companies in Western Washington that manufactures large jet aircraft. But I want them to be able to maintain their anonymity, so I won't mention who they are. But we worked for this company. And so we're in this great big tool with these airplanes. We built these massive airplane wings. And there's a whole bunch of us around. And Doc grabs a couple of these real long drill bits, right? And he starts kind of tapping on this, not on airplane parts, but just, bits of this big structure that we're in. And he starts, and he just takes these things, and he's hitting things with his hands, and these drill bits, and he's just going, and it was unbefreaking-leavable. Zarquan's knees, baby. This was so cool. And he just sat there just raging for like, 2 or 3 minutes. And there's 10 or 12 of us around, we're just watching him like, this is freaking awesome. Definitely a dude worth watching. And with his setup there, I mean, his light setup just blows mine away. I'm still in process. His is much more complete. Very cool. Doc, start streaming, dude. Just shut up and just shut up, all right? Just do it. Kids. All right. Yeah, oh yeah, things like beer kegs, when you get like, the Blue Man Group and doing their weird percussion stuff, there's so much cool stuff. I've seen concerts where people have got like big water bottles and stuff out there, and percussion it's really one of the most important aspects of music that we have, because with most likely the first instrument, and I'm going to include voice as an instrument, the first instrument was either percussion or vocals. And it's very likely that those instruments kind of arrived simultaneously because it's so inherent to what we do. Everything about our emotive output is done with vocalization and with percussiveness. And that's where I believe music started. You know, they didn't really document the beginnings of musical instruments, so we can't go back and look at this. It has to be a lot of thought experiment. But, dude, if you have good percussion, it's so important. It's so much more important than guitars. It just is. As a guitar player, I'm okay with that. I love well done percussion. I just love music, so. It was a big building. It was a very, very large building. So yeah. The reverb, the thing about the reverb in that building is there was just so much going on with all the machines that, the echoes were definitely there, but you don't really notice them because they're just covered up by just this constant buzz of massive sound. So, yeah. Then there was that thing we were throwing. Yeah, there was a lot of screaming and cussing on that job. Doc and I we were very happy people in the late 90s. Let's put it that way. And much the opposite of the cussing and screaming and throwing bucking bars and ladders that happened at this anonymous company in Western Washington that builds large passenger jet aircraft. I will allow them to maintain their anonymity. Much the opposite of the noise there, this song is called The Silence of the Graveyard. Let that go just a little too far there. Oops, my bad. Crunchy, thank you for the tip. And of course, Tom, as always, much appreciated. Thank you both for the awesome tips tonight. Greatly appreciated. We're moving into the last song here. Then we're going to do a little Deliverance with an Acid Hit. So we're not quite done yet. But I do want to express my appreciation for everyone who is watching. We're having an awesome chat going on that I've totally not been keeping up with. Reckless on Twitch. You may be new here. I don't recognize your username. Thank you for coming in. I hope you're enjoying the show. We always have a really good time here at the Mad Poet streams. Feel free to follow if you want notifications. Feel free not to follow if you are uninclined. And yeah, we are just going to keep rocking out here for a little while. So if you're just coming in, we are playing my 21st album tonight. This is called An Innocent Assassin. We're moving in toward the end of it. We've played the first 9 songs. We got one left to go, and then we're going to do a little bluesy slide guitar stuff. Just, for kicks, because we like that kind of stuff around here. So apologies if there have been any questions in the chat that I have missed. I feel like I've kind of been grooving. For the audio. Yeah, what happened there, I was actually talking with Susan, who you guys saw on here earlier. She probably is logged off by now. If you're still watching, Susan, of course, I do appreciate that. We were talking about audio, and she helps with audio engineering with her church music group a lot, and they're having some struggles. And I was talking about, it's been about 10 months that I've been streaming now, and I've gone through so many changes, and I feel like the audio is definitely getting to where I want it to be. And it used to be that I'd have to take 2 cables out of my audio interface and then return them back into my audio interface to get sound to my broadcast software, to get sound to you guys, and I've redone that whole system. I feel like I'm getting there. As I mentioned last night, I've picked up some boards. I'm going to redo this back wall is kind of the next step, and that's going to be pretty awesome, I hope. So cool. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, you already followed me. Excellent. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I'm fine. Thank you, Susan. Oh, Red Dwarf. We love Red Dwarf around here. We are a bunch of dwarfers. So okay, so let's dwarf it. So This album has some of my absolute best song titles on it. And this is a song, and particularly since, as Glenn has pointed out, my audio has been getting better, I hope that this comes through. One of the things I like about this song, there's some very cool guitar riff work coming up, and of course I'm just going to do my normal playing of improvisational solos that I do. But this one, the background orchestration on this just gets me going every time I listen to it. I love what I did with the orchestration on this. It starts out with a fairly minimal orchestration, and then it just adds and adds and adds until at the end it's got a full string section and a brass section and a church organ, and it's raging. You guys are awesome. All right, looks like we're doing some what we got here? Looks like we're kind of playing a B Phrygian thing on this. E minor, B Phrygian. Kind of got E minor with a B tonal center. So, yes, awesome sauce. This is Broken Bones Sit Upon Shattered Thrones. awesome. Okay. You know, Alex, when it comes to actually soundproofing a room so you can play loud, it's an exceptional amount of money. There's a big difference between sound reinforcement in a room and actual soundproofing. Soundproofing is hard to do. I would urge you to learn to play quietly. And one of the tips I have about playing quietly, and one of the reasons to do this is, I've known a lot of people, they pull the guitar out, they crank it up as loud as it'll go, and then they start tuning. It's like, dude, you sound bad right off the bat. When I practice, I like to play quiet. I've played, and there's some people in the chat here tonight that have seen me live, you know, in big theaters, and it's loud, and I love doing that. It's great, but when I practice, it's, you know, I record these albums, and Sarah's, you know, sleeping in the next room, and it doesn't even wake her up. So I'm a quiet. I encourage quiet playing. So, yeah. So I'm going to Cardboard Hill. Dude, that is a cool name for a song. Just a minute while I take a note of this here, because I'm going to use that as, I have no idea what the reference is. And when I don't know when I'll use that, but when I do, I will reference you, because that is freaking awesome. That is a great name for a song. So we need to do some other guitar here. So you guys are going to lose my audio for a moment while I change the thing to the stuff. You guys are going to lose me for a moment. I got to do a little bit of prep work so we can do some slide guitar. All right, you're probably hearing me again. And hopefully the levels will be reasonable. I'm actually going to, I need to do, so you're going to lose me again in a moment. Hopefully this is all going to work out. Okay, I think you might still be with me here. Okay, so I need to put this in here. And let's run this. Basically, the file that I'm using was not prepped for acoustic, for my slide guitar. So I'm just doing the prep work on that, and hopefully this will work out. Let me grab the guitar. This should work now. This. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so now let me get this stuff active here. When you say you tried the tremolo, did you try the tremolo like the whammy bar or like a tremolo effect? Go and let me know. Not sure if that's like way too loud or anything. Looks like is this guitar coming through to you guys correctly? I feel like I need to turn it down about 4 dB. All right. Deliverance with an acid hit. Woo-hoo-hoo, I love me some slide guitar. I'm seeing something about saturated underwear, so I know that chat is going well. You can't tell if you hate it or like it? Okay, hey, cool. You know, yeah, not everyone is into this. I've got a student, it's actually my nephew, that he occasionally shows up in chat, and I've been teaching him. He started out just as a regular guitar player, and we moved him into slide guitar. He wasn't sure what he thought of it at first, but he loves it now. And I'm a big fan of slide blues. I think it's just a total kick. So, yeah, good stuff. Standing on the... Okay, that's a great statement. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed the show. I've had an absolute blast here tonight. Oh, he's talking about Crossroads. That was a great movie. That was a very well done movie. Yeah, actually, the guitar player that played the classical guitar, because Ralph Macchio wasn't actually a guitar player, a gentleman named William Kanigeiser. When you see the shots of just Ralph Macchio's hands in Crossroads, that's actually William Kanigeiser. Check out the Los Angeles Guitar Quartet for killer classical guitar stuff. Yeah, Moody Southern, absolutely. Sounds cool. Hey, I dig that. I definitely dig that. Hey, again, ukuleles, some people are into it, some people aren't. That's one of the great things about just having so many options for music out there. It's just great. I know of an interview with Ozzy Osbourne where someone asked Ozzy, "What do you think about rap?" And you could tell that the interviewer kind of expected him to speak ill about rap. And all of a sudden, Ozzy's just coming off with all this great stuff, talking about, the genius level of lyrical, rhyming and stuff that they do. And I agree, rap is fantastic. There's some great work done in the rap arena. And, it's okay if you're not into it. I think that stuff is just fantastic, though. So, yeah, I love all this stuff. Underwater. I totally misread that. Underwater. Yes. Underwater. Big difference from saturated underwear. But that's the kind of thing that could come up in a Mad Poet chat room. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. And I just took it in as a glance. Oh, good stuff. Okay. Beautiful. Hey, nonetheless, thank you all for coming into the chat tonight. I had an absolute great time doing the stream, as I do every week. I'm glad Tom suggested that I do the Deliverance with an Acid hit. I haven't done any slide guitar for quite a while. We'll need to revisit that more often. And yes, I will be back next Thursday, probably doing more composition. And of course, I'll be back next Friday doing another show. Don't know what album yet. We'll figure it out as it goes along. Maybe the back wall will be done. I'm not going to make any guarantees. Maybe the internet will be better. I'm not going to make any guarantees because I'm just not in a guarantee kind of mood. Maybe people will watch. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll listen. Maybe they'll do something else. Nobody knows what's going on. Again, thank you. Thank you for the tips. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes and all of that. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. This has been fantastic. Until next week, I'll see you on the Discord.